Hello, this is Dave from Elliott Data Systems. In this video, we're going to talk about Command Center. Command Center is where all the people, personnel records, the assets, and the incidents all come together. From the main menu, we're going to click on the Command Center. I'll take a moment and talk about each little section here. The first section here on the left is the login and logout section. This is where we assign the incident, division, and assignment, and then check in the personnel or check out the personnel with either a barcode scanner, or we can actually use a drop-down list. This is where we would log out. This first tab across here is the scan log. The scan log will show actual scans. Got some examples here. Each scan of a person in and out of an incident that's selected on the left. Back to our flu clinic. On-site status would be the people that are on-site into the incident. On-site assets would show you any assets that you have checked into the incident. And patients would be relative to clinic manager to show the patients that are in the event. Down at the bottom, we've got a few things down here. We'll start out with specialties. As we talked about in personnel, where we assigned everybody different specialties and personal assets, this is where you would use that in command. If you're a command center commander and you wanted to know who might have scuba gear, we could go up into our filter bar, filter down our list. We can see who that might be. We can click on the little plus next to them, and anybody that might have this equipment associated, we could look up their contact information and call them and see if they have that equipment available. Specialties, same thing. We can filter it down. If we wanted to know who had CPR, we type in a few letters and it'll bring us up to the CPR. If it's red, the item, their certificate might be expired. Again, click on the plus. We can actually get the phone number. Click back, go back to the screen. We also have groups. Groups allow us to select multiple people and check them in by one group. They also allow us to do some alerting through automatic emails, which we'll talk about later. Incident status. We have an incident status here that you can bring up. It's a web page that'll give us some information that we can put on a secondary monitor and still operate our command center console. This is the screen that comes up. We can move this off the screen onto on a extended monitor, and this would refresh based on what information is selected. So we've got our department up here. Our incident's going to be flu clinic. We can see the assets or the personnel that's associated with that flu clinic. And it would, and we'll show you later as we add somebody in the clinic that it will actually show those people in and out, who's on site at that point. Linked incident. If you have more than one incident happening at one time, our linked incident allows us to associate multiple incidents so that you see across this who all is in what assignment, how long they've been in there, what division they're in, etc. You can also change between assets and see what assets are in and what patients might be in. Also shows you the duration. If they've expired their duration, they're coded in red. If they're 75% of their duration, it would go green, and then white if they're in a regular coding. Okay, so let's check somebody in to our flu clinic. We're going to set them up as in the division staging. We're going to set them up as a dispense. Now I can check them from a list. If I uncheck the scan ID, I can check them and pull them from a list. Or I can have scan ID and I can use a tethered barcode scanner and scan the person's ID into that position. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and put in Jose Cruz here also. You'll notice that as I check the second one in, I kept the same parameters. Looks like that we're going to move Jose to a screener. Go ahead and scan him again, and you'll notice that Jose shows up as a second scan, but if I look in the on-site status, you'll only see one for him, and he changed from a dispense to a screener. And notice we have different times here for the target. If we come back to our incident status and change this to flu clinic, you'll see that both of them are in here. If we want to check somebody out of an incident, we can click the log out and we can scan their ID. Notice that Debbie got checked out, or if we had a list of them, we could also use the red X and check them out. Scanning a person's ID will allow you to verify that it is the person that is in front of you with the picture. We also bring the picture up on the screen. The accountability is there for that's the actual person. If we check the group check-in box, this changes it so that we can select our group from the drop-down list. It does warn us that we're checking in a group. We answer yes or no, and as you can see, it puts all of the people in that group into the on-site. And if you look at the log, you'll see all of those scans. Now, if we knew that Thomas Walker or Scott Warner did not show up, we could, after we've checked them in, go ahead and check them out. We can check them out individually using the X, or we can go to the log out and we can check group log checkout, select team 1, and check them all out as a group. Groups and alerting allow us to build groups of people. We talked about groups, using them to check them in to an incident, but we can also use groups to do alerting. Create a meeting, select our group, attach a report if necessary, send it at 8 a.m. We don't need a manager code, we'll send it on a Monday. Reoccurring. Set up our subject, weekly meeting. Please join us at weekly meeting. Click save. Now this meeting is scheduled to scheduled to go to these people. If we click on the plus, it'll show us. There are detailed settings that must be set, and internet connectivity is a must.